Okay, so our flower box is all made. It is cedar with a pine trim molding across the top. It's time for us to paint it. Normally with cedar, you might want to seal it or prime it first because it does have color in it that can leach through. I'm actually using a very good house paint, exterior house paint, that is a primer and a paint all in one. So I'm going to take a chance on this and just do two coats of paint. I think that'll work. I've had good luck with that in the past, but for you, you may feel better using a primer or a sealer. So here's my paint. The first thing I'm going to do is paint the inside, just the top couple inches, because that's all I need in terms of what's going to show once I have dirt in here and plants. But I don't want you to be able to see bare wood. So I'm going to quickly, even if you just do one coat, just the top couple of inches. And I'm going to go around the whole box like that. Okay, now that I've got that inside top couple inches done, I'm going to roll it on its back because I don't need to paint the back. And I'm just going to paint away. Once this dries, I'm going to put a second coat on it, and then we should be good to go. Okay, now it's time to hang the new box. But before we do that, I want to show you what went wrong with the last one. The last boxes were just held on by some pretty good sized screws that were driven through the back of the box into the trim boards. The problem with that is it's almost like a cardboard box being held up by the sides versus supported. There was no way that it was really being supported, and so over time, that's a lot of weight with the box and the dirt and rain and plants, and it started to pull the boxes off the house, even in this case pulling the trim boards off the house as well. So what we're going to do this time is actually hang an L bracket on the trim, and that's going to be like picking a cardboard box up from underneath. It's actually going to support it from underneath, so these will be taking the weight, not just the screws. And then we can just put a screw or two in just to keep it in place against the house, but it'll be the bracket that's doing the workload. Okay, so here's how I determined where I'm placing my brackets. I measured the depth of the flower box, and so the bottom of the flower box is where I want the top of the bracket to be. So that's about 7.5, 8 inches, but we've measured that out. I've hung my first bracket, and then I'm trying to place the second one so we get it level. Threw a yardstick across there, put my level on there. Now we're at level. I drew my little circles so I know where I want to put my holes. I'm pre-drilling because we're putting in a big lag bolt there, and that's really going to hold these strongly. But that's a lot to drive through without a pilot hole. So we're going to pre-drill that. So now I've got my holes pre-drilled. Time to put my bracket on. We're going to do that with a pretty good sized lag bolt. We're going to get it started a little bit and use a socket wrench to drive it in. So now we've got the box in place on the brackets. You actually could drive a screw through the bottom of the L bracket into the box. I think what is a better option, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put 2 screws through the back of the box into the trim board just to kind of help steady it. There, we're done. It's on. Time to fill it. All right, there we have it. New flower box on the house, very solid. All planted, looking beautiful. You can see it's quite a difference from the old one to the new one. So I'm pretty happy with how this went, but I've got 9 more to do before I'm done with them all. So I've got a little more work ahead of me, but we've got the flower box on the house on Jill of All Trades.